When alone, we all do stuff we would hate for anyone to catch us doing, right? But these days, dodging cameras is pretty much impossible. People keep getting caught on tape doing the wildest things and ending up red-faced. From thieves having second thoughts to a teacher going crazy, I have rounded up some of those moments. So let's jump in. This valet worker finds gum in a car and figures, why not? His coworker leaning back in the passenger seat spots the cam and tries to warn the driver. But the gum guy thinks he just wants some too. Then he points out the camera, and the reaction is priceless. Meet Anil Masi, nominated for a councillor spot in India's mayoral elections. With a camera literally right over his head, he's caught messing with votes. Dude's just scribbling over ballots not in favor of the candidate he wants to win so they don't count. The clip is over a minute, but who knows how long he was at it before he finally looks up and sees he's on tape. He double takes, freezes in horror, then tries to play it cool like, oh, just doing my job. Super convincing, buddy. Then there's this shameless paramedic poking around an elderly woman's house right after she collapsed and passed away. He spots some cash on the table and pockets it without any hesitation, then looks around to find a camera. If he had checked first, he might have kept his job. That weak move of putting the 60 pounds back and acting like he's just fixing stuff? Yeah, no one bought it. He is out of a career now. This guy pickpockets a wallet from someone at an ATM, then starts glancing around to see if anyone noticed. That's when he spots the camera, and what happens next is gold. Instant regret kicks in, and he's pleading to the lens like, please forgive me. He even slides the wallet back to the guy, making it look like, hey man, you dropped this. Cameras can turn anyone into a gentleman, even if they started out shady. The next one just proves it even more. This car is waiting its turn at a corner when a truck comes flying in and clips it. Out steps a guy in a military uniform, and the road rage kicks off.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you did.
I didn't, but you just hit me. I got it on camera.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
That's all right. You got you on camera. I got you right here, buddy. Yeah.
I did that. I didn't do that.
Yeah, we got you. Thanks. We'll wait for the cops.
Okay.
Got you.
It doesn't last long, though, once the driver mentions the dash cam. The guy flips from, you hit my truck, to, sorry, didn't mean it, real fast. Like this dude pounding on the door of good people who saved his victim by taking her in. He stops for a sec, and I am thinking, oh, maybe he is regretting it and bailing. Nope, he just keeps going. Good thing that door held up, he took off, and the cops grabbed him soon after with this footage as proof. After a long shift, all I want is to crash and get cozy. But this guy? He's so wiped out that his body is home, but his brain is still clocked in. He swipes his work card at the doorbell camera like it's a scanner, waiting for the door to buzz him in. After a few tries with no luck, he finally snaps out of it and lets out this deep, tired sigh. I feel you, man. Happens to the best of us. So, this teacher in California pulls out a paper headdress, and a student whips out their phone to film her. She starts hopping around, yelling stuff, trying to act like it's Native American culture. At first, I'm like, okay, maybe she's teaching history. Then I catch her shouting, Sokato. Yup, that's the trig mnemonic. This is a math teacher. The longer the video goes, the more it's just pure cringe. Bet those students and me won't ever forget Sokatoa after that. This dog's got his sights on some food on the table, and unlike some of the clueless folks we have seen, he knows the camera is watching. So he nudges it away to chow down in peace. The cat strolls in, and I'm thinking, oh, teamwork? Nope. It moves the camera back to catch the dog red-handed. This guy's ticked off about his coffee order price at a drive-thru and chucks the drink at the barista. She's by herself, but not defenseless, grabs a hammer and smashes his windshield with insane speed. Pretty sure he's thanking his stars. She didn't aim for his head. I don't get it. If you think something's too pricey, why waste it being a jerk? This pizza delivery driver doesn't realize the doorbell cam's rolling and ends up in the sweetest moment. The kids inside start yelling, "Pizza!" all excited, and he lets loose, busting out some dance moves like a kid himself. If I caught this on my cam, I would invite the guy in to eat with us. He seems like such a cool dude.
How are you? Alright.
This guy in a vest strolls up to a house, waving like he's just some friendly worker checking things out, hoping no one's watching. He thinks the coast is clear, no camera on the doorbell, and it's heist time. But then he walks right up to the actual camera and stares into it. You can see the regret hit him hard. He turns away, only to mess up again and give the camera a full face shot before bailing. An army vet injured in Afghanistan gets a house tricked out for his needs, saying he is paralyzed from the waist down. Months later, a camera catches him walking around just fine. No clue he's being filmed. When reporters try to chat, he is not exactly friendly. Scamming a nonprofit that's helping people in need? Man, that's a new low. This FedEx driver was out delivering a package in December when he figured, Halloween is over, might as well have some fun. He did a quick check for cameras but missed the one that mattered. Then, he grabbed a pumpkin from the porch, stuck it behind his tire, and tried to crush it. But the pumpkin! Yeah, it had other plans. A guy was heading home, totally drained from adult life, when he saw a little girl skipping along, full of energy. Something clicked. Life was better as a kid. So he decided to go all in, skipping forward with the same carefree attitude. This officer was serving an eviction notice when she thought, why not take home a little something extra? But what about her body cam? She tried turning it off, thought she did, but nope, it was rolling the whole time. And to make it even worse, she walked right in front of a mirror while stuffing the homeowner's stuff into her shirt. That's next level snitching. On yourself. And now she's out of a job she didn't deserve anyway. Being slick and her are complete opposites. But let me introduce you to a master, in my opinion. This guy was pulling off some smooth, imaginary cricket shots, looking like he was just having fun. But in reality, he was sizing up a bike to steal. And you know what? He almost got away with it until he spotted the camera recording everything. Cue the awkward walk-off, hiding his face behind the bat like, nothing to see here. This DoorDash driver was just trying to do her job when the homeowner's dog came rushing at her. And the poor woman, she panicked hard. In a split second, she jumped straight into the homeowner's arms. Props to the guy for catching her. But come on, people, secure your pets when you are expecting a delivery. This father and son duo walked into a shop, and Dad asked the cashier for help with something in another aisle. Meanwhile, the kid, he slid over to the register, grabbed some cash, and stuffed it in his shorts like a pro. To sell the act, he even picked up an item, then returned it before walking out empty-handed. Look, that little guy's got skills, but I really hope they turn things around before he grows up thinking this is normal. Here is a kid all other kids should look up to. The brave 7-year-old came face to face with a massive bear, and instead of freaking out, he held his ground. The bear charging at him had me on edge, but then enters heroic neighbor to the rescue, arms wide open, scaring the bear off like some action movie star. He even chased it down to make sure it left the neighborhood. As for the kid, he's got the wildest story to tell at school, and if it wasn't caught on camera, no one would have believed him. Speaking of bears, this one pulled off a stunt no one would have believed if a camera hadn't caught it. It casually walked up to a car, opened the door, and rummaged around like some kind of vehicle inspector. Pretty sure those seats ended up covered in claw marks, a solid reminder to always lock your car. Now, this woman knew the doorbell cam was rolling, but that didn't stop her from trying to steal. She thought she was being slick, standing at a distance, using a broom to snag a package, thinking the camera wouldn't catch her. But nah, girl. You handed the camera all the proof it needed to brand you a porch pirate. This lad had his sights set on a children's bike, completely unaware that not only was a camera recording him, but the owner was watching live. One stern warning was all it took to send him running.
Get off my porch!
This Russian guy was sneaking drinks into a party, stuffing them up his sleeve like some spy mission. Maybe it was a no-alcohol event. Maybe he just didn't want his wife to know. Either way, right before heading in, he tried to switch hiding spots, tucking the bottle into his jacket. Big mistake, because the bottle slipped right out, hit the ground, and shattered, along with his dream of getting buzzed that night. Dropping a bottle is sad, but not as heartbreaking as being clumsy with your phone. So, when you are at a hot pot restaurant, maybe hold off on scrolling memes until after you eat. This guy, he lost grip on his phone, and the next thing you know, he is fishing it out of boiling broth. Sometimes it's not clumsiness. It is one of those days when the universe is just not on your side. These insurance scammers had a whole act planned. One guy on a moped, one car, perfect setup. But the lady driving, she braked just in time. No worries though. The guy just backed up his moped and launched himself onto her hood like some action movie stunt. Gotta respect the dedication. Too bad for them, she had a dash cam. The second she mentioned it, they took off before the cops could roll up. If it were me, I would have let them dig their own grave before casually mentioning the camera right at the end. This dude was vibing, munching on cookies while driving, when a truck suddenly tried to cut into his lane. Did he slow down? Nah, he just pit maneuvered the truck and kept going, never even dropping his cookie. Now this is the aura I aspire to have. Speaking of aura, riding a bike on a dock? Sounds cool, right? But it's also a terrible idea. One wrong move and, yup, dude went straight into a boat. Good news? He was totally fine. Bad news? Can't say the same for that beautiful bike. Who woke up feeling like a daredevil and decided to attempt a stunt, completely overestimating his skills. End result? One shoe left on the porch while the rest of him face-planted. The way he got up and walked back like a zombie? Tell me that warnings like "do not try this at home" exist because of people like him. These kids, whose faces I blurred because, minors thought they were stealthy trying to break into a home. They ducked behind pillars to avoid passers-by, but completely missed the camera watching their every move. Side note, kinda impressive how they both get away on one bike though. Anyway, the owner? Watching everything live. They called the cops, and let's just say, those kids didn't make it far. This kitty definitely knows how to grab its owner's attention when they are not home. This lady was mixing pool chemicals in a bucket, but clearly wasn't paying full attention, because whatever she did, next thing you know, there's a chain of explosions and toxic fumes flying out of it. Pool owners watching this video, anything like this ever happened to you? This e-bike thief was greeted by the homeowner's golden retriever, but not to stop him. Nah, the dog just wanted some pets. And even though the guy was mid-theft and in a hurry, he couldn't resist such a cute request. He even took a second to check where the dog's owner was, to make sure it was safe. Called it the world's best dog before finally snapping out of the cuteness and remembering, oh yeah, crime. One thing's for sure, the owner has the friendliest dog ever. The only time it's acceptable to forget to put your car in park is if you have superhuman reflexes and can stop it with your bare hands. Well, I might be crazy, but I think I can pull this off too. This old lady was trying to enter a clinic when one of the glass doors completely shattered, while the other one, not a single crack, even after falling over. Like, how? She just stood there in confusion for a second before casually walking away, like, okay, guess I'll try another place. Just another burglar strolling up to a house, locking eyes with the security camera like they are old friends. Before realizing, oh, right, maybe covering his face would have been smart. This guy decided to steal some packages, but before running off, he hit a little dance on the porch and even threw some finger guns at the camera. Not sure if he was just hyped about his score of the day, or if he thought putting on a show would make up for stealing. No script could have played this out better. Guy trips on the stairs, accidentally pulls the fire alarm, and to make things way worse, this all goes down in a hospital. Car theft isn't just a human thing anymore, because apparently raccoons have entered the game. Whole gangs of them. These workers were messing around with an argon gas tank when, oops, they broke the lid and sent the whole thing launching across the street. I'm just glad the guy in the red shirt moved out of the way earlier, because otherwise, yikes. When kindness meets a grateful and very excited delivery driver. She was so happy the homeowners left snacks for her that she literally crab-walked back to her truck. This guy trying to control both a boat and a forklift at the same time is the most Looney Tunes thing I've ever seen happen in real life. Well, one way or another, both of them stopped. But for this mom, though, nothing was stopping. Her baby in the stroller was rolling straight toward a busy road. Every time she tried to get up and run after it, she tripped. But then, like some kind of guardian angel, a homeless man sprinted in and stopped the stroller just before it hit traffic. I can't even imagine what that mom must have felt in that moment. Don't be dumb and ignore barrier tape like this guy, or you might find yourself stepping in wet concrete. He's chugging alcohol while driving, already illegal and reckless, but then he takes it a step further and litter by throwing the bottle out the window. Problem is, the window was closed, and he just smashed it. Karma can strike in funny ways. This cat was just chilling on the porch when some stranger tried to snatch it. At first, the cat dodged like a pro, but the girl managed to grab it and make a run for the car. Except, this furry little legend had zero plans of going anywhere. He fought his way free and came right back to chill in the same spot. Maybe something like this one lacking empathy? The video captured Karen going off on a bus, throwing racial slurs left and right. She started with Asian passengers, then moved on to insulting black people. Now, normally, when cameras come out, people calm down, but not Karen's. Nope. The second she realized she was being recorded, she doubled down and attacked the cameraman. Cameramen never die, but they are definitely in danger when a Karen's around. This lady is no Karen, just someone who clearly can't handle her beers. Ever wondered if you could operate heavy machinery with zero training? I do, and turns out you can. But that doesn't mean you should, because chances are you would end up just like this guy, absolutely clueless on how to unload gravel. These two guys were on a mission to vandalize shop shelters around town. And honestly, why? If any vandals are watching, please explain. What's the point? The wildest part? A cop car literally drives by mid-crime and doesn't even blink. With that kind of genius cops on the streets, these guys have nothing to worry about. Two guys roll up to swipe a package off a porch. While one grabs it, the other decides to taunt the owner by shaking his bottom at the camera. The video goes viral, and guess what? The porch pirate actually comes back to tell the homeowner. That wasn't cool. Dude, you are a thief. That's not cool either. Few days later, he returns one of the 4 stolen glasses, but only because it was broken. Now that is next level petty. This lady straight up barged into a McDonald's by squeezing through the drive-thru window. And once she's in, she moves around like she owns the place, filling up drinks, grabbing items, even swiping cash. But then, only when she's leaving, she decides to cover her face. Like, girl, it's too late for that. This man, a Democratic representative, tried to exit a building through the emergency door. And when it didn't open, instead of, reading the sign, he just pulled the fire alarm. His excuse? He thought it was just for the gate. This dad is a real-life superhero with spidey senses. Why do people still not get that workplaces have cameras? These TSA agents had decent jobs, but greed got the best of them. They started swiping money and items from passengers' bags, thinking they were sneaky, but they were wrong. The cameras recorded all their steals to put them behind the bars. Co-workers that steal together get fired together, but what about co-workers that steal from each other? See that guy near the fridge? Yeah, he's about to lose his mind, because his co-workers keep stealing his milk. 9 to 5 is already painful enough, but now you gotta deal with lunch thieves too? Honestly, I would snap too.
See what I mean? Like, look at the milk.
And not replaced it.
This lady walks into a gas station, sees a Red Bull, and decides she doesn't feel like paying. So she pulls the classic move, pretends to put it back, but actually hides it behind other items. Then she grabs a bag of chips to throw off the cashier, acting like she wants to buy more stuff. And when the cashier isn't looking, boom, Red Bull goes straight into her purse. Except, joke's on her. The cashier wasn't looking at her because he was looking at the camera recording her entire stunt. He lets her slide to grab her license plate. But surprise, surprise, she was one step ahead and made sure he couldn't. And with this kid instantly regretting his life choices after flipping off the camera, that's a wrap for this video. So which one of these clips had you laughing the most? Let me know in the comments. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and press the little bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video just for you. Thanks for watching.